Returning to Love with The Loving Energy. The Loving Energy Newsletter, Dragon Issue Number 5. 1. Hello Wolf. 2. Beyond Quantum Healing, what story will you make up? 3. Lure Wolf Enter Room. 4. Second Pyramid Transmission Edition Discernment. 5. I am loved, therefore I love. One. Hello Wolf. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Loving Energy Newsletter, Dragon Issue Number 5. I was sweating a bit when the spirits told me this issue is going to be about Wolf. What? What do I know about Wolf? Theka, my beautiful dog, is a wolf dog, but he really is a dog and not a wolf. Okay, I once spontaneously drifted into a past life that featured a pack of wolves, and I will tell you about it in item 2. What else? The story of the boy who cried wolf kept coming into my head, and how it bugs me. I'm sure you know this story about a shepherd boy who was bored. He amused himself by crying wolf and fooled the villagers to come running to rescue him and the sheep. The villagers were angry and even angrier when the boy made the practical joke a second time. So angry that when the boy cried wolf the third time, they ignored him. But this time, there really was a wolf. And that's our world in a nutshell. Judge, punish, abandon. No one bothered to ask the boy why he lied and made such a cruel joke. No one. He was only a boy, a child labor who probably had to work every single day as long as the sheep had to graze. No phone, no Wi-Fi, no Game Boy. He didn't even have a sheepdog to play with or to protect him from the wolf. But no one paused to ask him how he was. No one empathized with his loneliness. No one explored options to help him be content during his solitude. And so, he learned the consequences in a violent way, traumatized by the attack, depressed from guilt and shame of his immature way. The story said he never lied again, probably not because he suddenly matured up, but because he was terrified. Terrified that he would be abandoned again if he ever stepped a foot wrong. As children, we learned the moral of this story is to not lie. But we still lie. White lies, black lies, rainbow lies. Terrified by how people think of us if we are our true selves and speak our minds. As children, we learn to judge. Lies, bad, fate will catch up with him. You may not be one to judge others, but how harshly do you judge yourself? Where is the love in this story? Where is the compassion? The lyrics from Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise came to mind. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't. I guess they won't. I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck full. May you be true, always. Love, Stephanie said, The Loving Energy. The photographs on the screen show Mr. Yoyos Kapsalis, the shepherd sculptor, and some of his works. Photoman and I met Mr. Yoyos Kapsalis, a shepherd on our island, Crete, a few years ago. He is a self-taught sculptor, and he started making sculptures from stones and tree branches when he was 25 years old, while tending to his flock of sheep. He's now over 90 years old and still making sculptures. When he showed us where he used to take his flock, he walked down a cliff with lightning speed. It shows how passion can keep us young and fit. Perhaps one day we will change the crying wolf story to the story of the boy who found his passion. Note: I put Coolio's song Gangsta's Paradise in the end screen of this video. Two, beyond quantum healing, what story will you make up? Quantum healing hypnosis technique, QHHT, is a hypnosis method created by the late Dolores Cannon, which can allow access to the client's higher self and past lives or other types of consciousness explorations. It involves guided visualization that induces a deep trance which is experienced every day by us, at the moments at which we become consciously awake, and the moment just before we fall asleep. Beyond Quantum Healing, BQH, founded by Candace Crowe Goldman, one of Dolores' most trusted assistants, is an ever-evolving variation of QHHT. It allows the practitioners to use all their skills and learning, both from the method itself and through their own studies, to adjust to clients' individual needs and comfort level. It can be both facilitated in person or online. During this moon cycle, I'm offering BQH online sessions on a pay-what-you-want basis. A BQH journey with me starts with a BQH Let's Chat session in which you can ask all the questions about BQH that you have so that you can find out if this is the right method for you. Apart from answering your questions, I will also start getting to know you, the reasons you want to have a BQH session, and what you want to achieve through it. A BQH Let's Chat session is free, and you can make an appointment through the link in the description box. Few years ago, when we were living in Athens, Photoman said we were going to a place in Greece called Arachofa. "What's that?" I asked. "Look it up," he said. I Google searched the images of Arachofa. As soon as my eyes laid on the rows of photographs, I felt nauseous and my abdomen hurt so badly that I limped to the sofa to lie down. "What are you trying to show me?" I asked the spirit. "Snow. I saw footprints in the snow, and then thick boots in the snow. Oh, I was looking down at my feet." The story came very quickly, as if I had made it up long time ago, and it suddenly came rushing back. I delivered a message for the king to the army general to command him not to strike. Mission accomplished, and I was to stay, but I didn't trust the general. I sneaked out to make my way back immediately in the darkest of night. I was walking in a snowy pine forest on my own. Oh, wolves! I felt a deep sense of panic as I fell backward. They went straight to my abdomen. Luckily, I didn't feel pain that I must have felt in that life as the wolves ate me. Instead, inside of my abdomen was like an operating washing machine. I felt nauseated from the shock. That doesn't make sense. Why would a woman be delivering a message and not a proper messenger? I wasn't too sick to protest. The answer came to mind. Some officials were for the battle, and if the message fell into the wrong hand, it would not be delivered. The king didn't trust anyone but his mistress. I was the mistress. Did he love her? I asked, because I saw Photoman's face. He was the king. Yes. I felt the yearning. Cliché can be so sweet and tragic. What is the lesson about? Paranoia. Oh, yes. My past character was paranoid about her safety and walked herself into danger. I did feel paranoid sometimes. I was particularly paranoid about making this story up. It was difficult to make up the sudden nausea, though, and that sweet, tragic yearning. Give me some proof. Tell me where I was from. Delphi. The answer came instantly. Ha! I caught you. Or me. I was living in Greece for barely a year, and Delphi was one of the few places I remember the name of. How convenient that this name should pop up. I looked up Delphi Arachova distance anyway. Oh, Delphi is right next to Arachova. Still, the loophole in the story was too big. How could a woman walk all the way in the snow? Even if it was the next village, it was far. Was Arachova a pine forest back then, or was I further up the mountain, which is a pine forest? Anyway, the nausea was gone, and I didn't investigate further. What was important was the lesson, and I reminded myself to not fall into the paranoia trap. I even forgot about the whole story when we were in Arachova. We went to Arachova a few times for Photoman's photo jobs. We ended up knowing some local people, and out of the blue, a local friend told me that people there believe there were extensive network of tunnels connecting different areas in that region. Oh, so that was how the king's mistress could travel far on foot. Have you had any past life experience of your own? Do you think you made it up too? What convinced you that it was real? If you haven't experienced any past life story and want to know more about it, sign up for the free Beyond Quantum Healing Let's Chat session now through the link in the description box. In the blog article Arachova and Around, I wrote about Arachova, which is a popular winter holiday destination here in Greece, and also interesting places nearby such as Delphi and Livadia. In the blog article The Mountain Men of Panassos Part 1, I talked about a local trekking guide, Yorgos Korodimos, who took us to the Corinthian cave. The village Arachova and Delphi are both in Mount Panassos. In the blog article, The Mountain Men of Panassos Part 2, I talked about Kostas Koutras, a hotelier, ski coach, and photographer, and my encounter with an Olympic torch. The links to these blog articles are in the description box. Three, Lure Wolf Enter Room. The thought of the moon cycle is 引狼入室, Lure Wolf Enter Room. Long time ago, a shepherd noticed a wolf hovering around while his sheep was grazing in the field. He was watchful initially, but he relaxed when after weeks had passed and the wolf never attempted to attack. The wolf seemed to be more interested in making acquaintance with the shepherd, and eventually the two were seen side by side as if the wolf was working for the shepherd as a sheepdog. The shepherd reasoned that it was a good plan to have a wolf with him so as to ward off other predators. One day, the shepherd had to go to town for something, and he asked the wolf to look after his flock. No problem. The wolf was most accommodating, and the sheep were happy to be under his care. When the shepherd had gone far, far away, the wolf turned to the forest and howled. All his family, young and old, even distant cousins, answered his call of invitation for a sumptuous feast of sheep. The idiom 引狼入室, lure wolf enter room, reminds us to be cautious who we invite to our home or our life, because when we do not discern, it could be as dangerous as luring a wolf into the room we are in. The idiom also reminds us that we are in control. Traditionally, this idiom is used in a physical sense, like in the story. For example, people fell in love with people who just want to steal their money. During this moon cycle, let's ponder on what we invited into our mind which turned out to affect us in a negative way. For example, the story of the boy who cried wolf seemed to be a nice story to teach children honesty, but it could have taught us to judge, punish, and abandon people who make mistakes instead of being loving and compassionate. Second pyramid transmission, addition, discernment. Discernment is an interesting thing. Whether one is making the right call, it depends on from what perspective we are looking. There are times when we do something that everyone around us told us not to do, and we do it anyway to find that our unique choices eventually take us to the most joyous place. During a second treatment, I saw in my inner vision my client loading 2 big cases into a car and drove off. The spirit said he was 18-year-old and he didn't understand. He had suppressed guilt inside that needed to go, and I had to tell him about it. I sensed a feeling of stealth and exhilaration. Oh, was it an armed robbery? The spirits didn't answer. I panicked. My discernment was telling me to keep my mouth shut about this. I would put myself in danger if he knew I knew his secret. I hesitated, but I did tell him, because Photoman, my husband, was there as an interpreter. Seeing Photoman's hesitation after I related the message to him, I added that the client didn't have to say what happened. The message was about letting the guilt go. The client laughed heartily upon receiving the message. He said he knew exactly what I saw, and he remembered it as if it had just happened. When he turned 18 years old, he took 2 suitcasefuls of stuff with him, drove off to Athens from his village and never returned. He said he didn't know why, but he had a strong urge to do so, while everyone around him thought he should stay in the village. Looking back, he knew he did the right thing for himself, and if he had any guilt inside, he could definitely let it go now. The story shows how we don't know what each other's destiny will take us, and instead of having a set mind of what is right or wrong, good or bad, it gives us and each other peace when we can forego our opinions and give our blessings to our loved ones, even when their choices are completely opposite to ours. Second pyramid transmission started when an idea came to me to share Second in a simple way. It is not how I normally facilitate a second treatment. What I do with second pyramid transmission is that I channel a certain amount of second energy for you. I also create a pyramid for you as sacred place, to be placed around you when you are receiving the transmission. My Divine Spirit team fills the pyramid with elements and colors according to the moon cycle's collective energy need. You can receive this transmission at your convenience during this moon cycle. Here's what you need to do in order to receive this transmission. 1. Get comfortable by either sitting with your back supported or lying down on your back for relaxation and circulation. 2. Give intention to the effect of, I would like to receive the Dragon Issue number 5, second pyramid transmission now, to my highest good and will. 3. Relax for about half an hour. That's it. This time, my Divine Spirit team filled the pyramid with vibration of diamond, clear quartz, cotton, sheep, and snowflake. Look up the properties of these items if you feel drawn to. You may or may not feel anything. It's fine. Having sensation is not a requirement. The only requirement is that you are willing to receive. Please remember to say, to my highest good and will, so you know you are in control. If you have any questions, please leave a message in the comment section. I certainly would love to hear about your experience. Note: second pyramid transmission is prepared for the Loving Energy newsletter subscribers only. To sign up for the newsletter, please use the link in the description box. Five. I am loved, therefore I love. The You Are Amazing affirmation of this moon cycle is, I am loved, therefore I love. Jesus called people sheep because he saw people were lost like sheep without a shepherd. He looked at them with love and compassion, and he was dedicated in protecting all who came to him by guiding them, like what a shepherd would do for their sheep. It has become a trend in recent years to call people who follow the crowd a sheep as an insult. I don't like name-calling insult because it doesn't do anything else but harm. Why would people insult others because they think these people do not have original thoughts? And then I thought, okay, maybe it is accurate description for certain people when we remove the insulting tone. Didn't Jesus call people sheep too, and himself a shepherd? What makes the people who consider themselves not a sheep then? Sheepdogs. Yes, sheepdogs. I heard many people who feel they are different from most of society feel isolated, and they could become resentful for not being understood. No wonder some of them want to pass on their resentment by insulting people. In this same metaphor, they can be the sheepdogs. There are so many sheep and very few sheepdogs, and they could feel misunderstood and isolated. But if they focus on how much love the shepherd has for them for the good work that they do, they will feel so loved, and in turn, they can pass on their love to the sheep as they assist in guiding them. I will add that we do not need to believe in Jesus or any particular saint or light beings to feel loved. If you have any doubts that you are loved, take a moment and close your eyes and ask for a hug from Source, God, the Creator, or whatever you call the creative loving energy that created us all, and enjoy the sweet warm feeling that comes. During this moon cycle, say to yourself, I am loved, therefore I love, daily and often, and see how warm and sweet you feel and become. In the video, What is Love? Day 30, The Beginning of Love, I talked about how we are love, and now that we know what we are, we can have a brand new beginning as love. I put a link to this video in the end screen of this video. We have reached the end of the Dragon issue number 5. The next issue will arrive at your mailbox on the 6th of July, Saturday, which is the first day of the 6th month in the Chinese calendar. Yes, the next new moon day.